Congratulations on joining our company. We've worked hard to build our reputation with our clients by providing them with reliable, qualified, and capable employees.
We chose you because we believe you reflect the high standards set by our company. We're glad you're joining us and want you to know that we are committed to your success.
We have prepared this orientation to inform you of your responsibilities regarding employment policies and procedures, general safety rules, hazardous communication, an ergonomics overview, and on-the-job accident and injury procedures. The materials in this orientation are not optional.
Your understanding of these procedures is vital to ensure your employment, your safety, and the safety of your coworkers. We take our responsibility as your employer very seriously, and we've gone to great lengths to provide you a safe work environment. If you are injured on the job, we will deal promptly with legitimate claims and injuries.
We have workers' compensation insurance that will pay your medical expenses and wages. We also have extensive experience investigating claims and will fight fraudulent claims with all available resources.
We provide equal employment opportunities to applicants and employees without regard to race, religion, sex, age, disability, or any other basis protected under law. Equal employment opportunity will be extended to all persons in the employer-employee relationship. Reasonable accommodations are available to qualified individuals upon request.
We prohibit all forms of workplace harassment. Harassment can be unwanted and offensive conduct that causes an intimidating or hostile working environment.
Employees who believe they are victims of harassment in the workplace should immediately report the facts of the incident to us.
Our company has a strict substance abuse policy about being under the influence of drugs or alcohol in the workplace. You will be given the specifics of our substance abuse policy and are required to sign a drug screen consent, indicating you understand and agree to our policy.
The first step in achieving success is to be committed to your job placement and to meet the following expectations.
Complete your assignment. Let us know if it doesn't sound right for you. Once you accept it, we rely on you to complete it.
Make a good first impression. We will provide you all the information you need in preparation. You should arrive at your assignment early, dressed appropriately, and prepared.
Introduce yourself and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask how something is done.
When possible, at the end of the day, let your supervisor know what you've achieved and the status of your work.
And as always, complete your record of your time worked and be sure to get all the required signatures and submit it according to schedule. This will ensure you receive a paycheck on time.
Your commitment as an associate also includes staying in touch with us. You must contact us when you're available for a new assignment. We may have new opportunities every day.
We know you'll be flexible and willing to help, but we must know if your schedule or assigned task changes.
If you're going to be late or absent.
If you witness or sustain a workplace accident or injury.
If you experience an issue or problem on your assignment. We want and need to know your concerns, no matter what the circumstance.
If you move or change phone numbers.
If our client talks about hiring you, we're pleased and we can help ensure a smooth transition.
Let us know of new skills you've acquired so we can find the best assignment for you.
Client and job-specific safety practices will be covered in another orientation. Should you feel uncomfortable doing the job assigned, please let us know. Safety is no accident. It is a responsibility and a way of life.
Let's discuss some general safety rules and regulations. The best approach to doing any job is the common sense, safe way.
An important rule to remember: never take a risk. When given an assignment, we will tell you your duties. We must approve any change from those duties before you perform them.
Any hazardous working conditions or unsafe actions of coworkers must be reported to your supervisor and to us immediately.
You should be properly trained before operating any tools, equipment, or machinery.
Horseplay, unauthorized activities, and athletic events during working hours are not permitted on the job site.
Walk, don't run on stairs. Use the handrails and watch for wet or slippery surfaces.
Ladders should be used with caution. Be sure they are sturdy, at a safe angle, and place the ladder correctly so stretching can be avoided. And use passageways. Taking shortcuts behind machinery, office equipment, or through parking lots can be dangerous and is not permitted.
Use proper lifting procedures. Keep your hands as clean as possible. Skin irritation can be caused by simple things such as chemicals in paper and ink, and keep work areas clean and clutter-free.
Use the correct tool that is in good condition on your job, and only trained, certified, and authorized operators are allowed to use equipment such as forklifts, pallet jacks, order pickers, tow boys, and hand trucks.
Do not continue working if you feel ill. Stop what you are doing and notify your supervisor.
Always dress according to your job, the weather requirements, and use required PPE, or personal protective equipment. Our employee dress code states, you must be neat and clean. Don't wear torn or loose clothes that could easily be caught in machinery or cause a hazardous situation.
Earrings, bracelets, neckties, and necklaces create hazards if caught in machinery. Make sure your hair is pulled back and tied.
All these safety practices reduce the risk of workplace injury.
You may accept a position working at a location that requires you to wear PPE. PPE is not a substitution for workplace safety practices, but is to be used in conjunction with these practices to ensure your safety and health.
Let's review the most common types of personal protective equipment. Safety glasses protect your eyes from moderate impact and particles.
Head protectors in the form of protective hats must resist penetration and absorb the shock of a blow. Make sure that you are comfortable with the condition of the head protection provided.
Protected footwear includes reinforced safety shoes, insulated boots, and slip-resistant shoes.
Safety gloves are designed to protect your hands from exposures to chemicals, abrasions, cuts, and heat. Earplugs can protect your hearing from excessive noise and vibration. If you have any specific questions about the proper PPE for your job assignment, let us know and we will get the equipment you need and properly train you on its use. If there is PPE that our client supplies you, be sure you are properly trained on its use and maintenance.
A hazardous condition can develop at any time. Driving to work, you use caution. Crossing the street, you look for oncoming traffic. Likewise, in the workplace, you must continuously protect yourself by making good judgment decisions. Some of the more common hazards to be aware of are
Overhead hazards. These might include suspended loads that could fall, energized wire or equipment that could be hit against or could fall, work being conducted above your head where things could be dropped, sharp objects or corners at head level.
electrical hazards, which can include exposed electrical wires, frayed electrical extension cords, overburdened electrical outlets, maintenance performed on equipment that is not properly locked out and tagged.
You should always be aware of natural hazards, such as changes in the terrain. Look before taking a step to avoid tripping.
Weather influences the working environment. You must exercise caution when commuting or working in the elements. When it's cold, remember to dress warmly with layered clothing. If clothes become wet, change as soon as possible. Wear non-skid footwear to avoid the danger of slips and falls.
To avoid heat stroke and heat exhaustion in hot weather, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing and a hat for protection. Drink plenty of liquids such as water, fruit juices, and sports drinks.
To reduce walking hazards, always follow designated traffic flow areas, especially in warehouses. Do not take shortcuts around machines or walk in travel areas designated for machines such as forklifts.
Lifting hazards exist in most work environments. Use the following guidelines to prevent injuries.
Think about the proper way to lift an object beforehand. If the load is too heavy or awkward to handle by yourself, ask for help. Plant your feet close to the load and grasp the load firmly.
Lift gradually by using your leg muscles. Keep your back in a natural, comfortable position. Don't twist or overreach. Reverse the procedure to set a heavy object down.
If a load is falling or off balance, do not try to catch it.
When operating machinery, take the safe approach. Moving parts can cause serious injury and should have adequate guards or emergency stop buttons. So make sure they are in place and secure before using. Machine guards are intended to keep your fingers, hands, arms, and clothing from being pinched or pulled into the machinery.
Never remove, tamper with the guards, or operate machines with the guards removed. Safety switches and other guard devices must be used when required. Report to your supervisor and to our company any equipment that is unguarded or not working properly.
Serious accidents can occur if you try to dislodge an equipment jam. Never try to repair or service industrial machinery unless you have been assigned by us to do so. Never put yourself in a position where you could be hurt or fall into the machine if the jam suddenly clears. Again, report any problems to your supervisor immediately.
Lockout tagout is a safety procedure used during machine malfunctions or maintenance to prevent injuries. Lockout tagout is used when repairing or working on electrical equipment or circuits, working on hydraulic equipment in a raised position, working on pipelines or hoses that could become pressurized.
Contact your supervisor or let us know if you have any questions about lockout tagout procedures. And remember, do not perform lockout tagout duties unless we have assigned you to that job and you have received site-specific training. Never remove the lock or tag from equipment unless authorized to do so.
Where electricity or other energy is concerned, if in doubt, lock it out. Again, contact your supervisor or us if you have any questions.
We abide by OSHA's hazard communication standard that is for your protection and establishes your right to know about chemicals you may encounter.
Hazard communication requirements of OSHA include the labeling of containers and use of material safety data sheets, also known as MSDS. Chemical manufacturers are required to label their product about the content of their material as well as any specific physical and health hazards. Also, manufacturers are required to provide MSDS sheets for all hazardous chemicals used in the workplace.
If you are assigned to work sites where you will be around chemicals, you will have access to HazCom information, including MSDS sheets. If you are not sure about a chemical, ask your supervisor. And should you be asked to handle chemicals and you have not received the proper safety training, contact us immediately.
Remember, it is your right to know and your responsibility to comply with any specific worksite safety rules and procedures relating to hazardous materials.
Ergonomics is designing and arranging people and things to interact most efficiently and safely. Assembly work may appear to be easy, but repetitive movements or prolonged awkward postures can lead to localized pain and injury. Adjust your work area and change the way you sit, stand, and position your hands to allow different muscles to provide support while others rest. On break periods, be sure to stretch and move around a bit. This provides rest and allows the muscles enough time to recover. Alternate job duties whenever possible, mixing various tasks into the workday.
Workstations and equipment must sufficiently adjust to make occasional changes in posture and must be maintained and function properly. Workstations should allow head and neck to be upright, head, neck, and trunk to face forward, trunk to be perpendicular to the floor, shoulders and upper arms to be perpendicular to the floor, upper arms and elbows to be close to the body, forearms, wrists, and hands to be straight and parallel to the floor, not pointing up, down, or bent, thighs to be about parallel to the floor, and lower legs to be perpendicular, feet to rest flat on the floor or be supported by a stable footrest.
Know your work sites. Most have an approved first aid kit easily accessible. Notify your supervisor if you need any item commonly kept in the first aid kit. Become familiar with fire safety and evacuation plans posted at all work sites.
Great care has been taken to place you in a safe work environment and to instruct you on performing your duties safely. We select our clients because of their commitment to providing a safe work environment. However, sometimes accidents occur at even the safest work sites. So it is very important that you comply with the policies and procedures for on-the-job accidents and injuries. Guidelines for you to know and follow are: proper notification concerning any on-the-job injury is vital to ensure prompt medical treatment.
Your supervisor will help you follow this process. Unless it is an emergency, it is your responsibility to contact this office immediately to let us know of your injury. Never assume someone else has contacted us.
A representative from our office will coordinate your transportation and may meet you at the clinic or physician's office. As with every incident, we conduct a thorough investigation.
In compliance with our substance abuse program, you have signed a drug screen consent. Post-accident drug testing is a routine part of our policies and procedures. Modified or restricted duty is provided to get you back to work as quickly as possible without losing any time or compensation.
A quick review. Immediately report any on-the-job accident or injury, no matter how insignificant it may seem. If you wait even a day, workers' compensation benefits for the injury or claim may be questioned. One final thing. By signing your record of time worked and/or signing for your paycheck, You are verifying that you reported any on-the-job accident or injury that you sustained or witnessed during that time period.
Our commitment to your safety includes safety education in the form of meetings, reminders, and in some cases, safety incentive programs. We expect you to participate. As our employee, you may have suggestions concerning safety at the job site. Your suggestions are welcomed and encouraged and will never have a negative effect on your employment.
As you can see, we take safety seriously here and expect you to do the same. Failure to adhere to the guidelines will lead to possible disciplinary action up to immediate termination. Remember, these guidelines are not optional, and your non-compliance may also affect workers' compensation benefits should you sustain an on-the-job accident or injury.
In closing, let's review the key policies and procedures. Follow along on the policies and procedures checklist provided to you and initial the box to the left of each statement as we review them one last time.
Number 1. I understand this staffing company takes the responsibility as my employer very seriously, and that they have gone to great length to provide a safe work environment. If I am injured on the job, this staffing company will deal promptly with legitimate claims and has workers' compensation insurance that will pay medical expenses and wages. I also understand that the staffing company has extensive experience investigating claims and will fight fraudulent claims with all available resources.
2. If I sustain an injury on the job, I will inform the client and staffing company immediately, who will coordinate with the client and myself the proper procedures for treatment and reporting the accident.
3. This staffing company has a strict substance abuse policy, and I have signed a consent form to submit to drug testing. I understand that my failure to comply with this agreement will be grounds for my immediate termination.
4. I understand and will comply with this staffing company's safety rules, regulations, and hazardous communication program explained to me in the orientation.
5. I am telephone accessible and I have reliable transportation.
6. I understand that I am an employee of this staffing company, and only this staffing company or I can terminate my employment. When an assignment ends, I must report to the staffing company for my next job assignment.
7. I understand that I am expected to complete any job assignment I accept. I understand that if I do not complete or promptly notify of my inability to complete the assignment, or if I do not report for my next assignment, then this staffing company may assume that I have voluntarily quit and I will not be eligible for unemployment benefits.
8. If for some unexpected reason, such as an emergency or illness, I cannot make it to work or will be late, I will contact this staffing company as soon as possible.
9. I understand this staffing company's requirements for receiving information documenting hours worked, the method of providing this information, and the time frame for me to provide this information. I understand this staffing company will not recognize or pay for any hours worked by an employee without proper documentation verifying hours worked.
10. I have read and fully understand the above statements regarding the staffing company's policies and procedures and agree to the same. I understand that failure to comply with these policies and procedures could lead to my termination and may jeopardize employment benefits.
This brings us to the end of our time together. Our representative will advise you of any additional policies and procedures or specific client information needed for your assignment.
Again, we're glad to have you representing our firm.